This episode was brought to you by Pentester Academy, the leader in online cybersecurity education. Join over 10,000 professionals from 90 countries to learn security online. Also brought to you by Hacker Arsenal, artillery for cyber warriors. Visit us on hackerarsenal.com to check out our latest attack defense gadgets. I'm Marley Oxenholm from Pentester Academy TV, and welcome to our show, Access Point, where we spotlight cybersecurity companies and give an inside look at the people and technology behind the latest advancements in the industry. Today, I will be speaking with the company Apozy. I'm sitting down right now with Erhan Justice, who is CTO of the company. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So now explain to me how exactly the Apozy plugin works.
Well, it's a browser extension, and basically it makes decisions about website risks in real time, and it's able to use native browser isolation to transform dangerous websites into safe websites.
Okay, and now can you give me some examples of attacks that Apozy can detect?
Sure. So a common attack is someone putting up like a fake Dropbox webpage, and you might navigate to this fake webpage thinking it's the real Dropbox, put in your credentials, and then you're hacked. So our extension will actually stop that from happening. It'll detect that the page is fake, and it'll determine, it'll put it into a read-only mode.
Okay. And now I saw that one of the things mentioned on your website stated it transforms dangerous websites into safer ones using technology. That seems really interesting to me. Can you give an example or elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So every browser has something called the content security policy setting that you can set inside of the headers that are transmitted.
Okay.
So what that allows us to do is use the browser's native sandboxing technology to tell the browser which resources should be sandboxed and how. So we make decisions on which resources are dangerous and which ones are safe, and then we tell the browser to sandbox it using that security heading.
Got it. And when you say sandbox, what does that mean exactly?
It basically means the resource can't be downloaded, can't be uploaded unencrypted.
Okay.
Or, for example, if you're filling out a form, the browser will prevent you from submitting the data from that form.
Got it. Okay, cool. Thanks. And now, why did you choose to create a browser plugin versus a desktop application?
There's a couple of big problems that come up with having a desktop application. Okay. One of the most common ones is breaking SSL. So a lot of server-side solutions will need to terminate the SSL connection and then re-encrypt it later on. By being in a browser, we don't have to do that. We can just rely on it after it's been rendered. So that's very convenient. The other thing too is we can leverage the services that individuals use in their browsing history in order to make decisions about whether or not that person trusts the website based on their patterns. And getting access to that information outside of the browser is very difficult. And then the third thing is basically we want to access dynamically loaded information and content. So JavaScript renders a lot of the content on the internet these days. So if you just look at the information that's transmitted, you'll miss out on a lot of the dynamically rendered stuff.
Wow, okay, awesome. Yeah. And now I know users are generally concerned by spying with browser plugins. What types of privacy safeguards do you have in place, if any?
So the first thing, a lot of the analysis that we do, like visual analysis and browsing history analysis, never actually leave the browser. They're conducted inside of your browser, so we don't transmit that information back. We do send the domain, just the root domain, back to our servers so that we can do additional security analysis on that page.
Okay.
That's anonymous, and the users can disable that setting if they don't want to send that information, rendering it pretty much completely isolated with nothing being transmitted.
Okay.
And for administrators that use our product, they can actually apply additional privacy settings and privacy filters that filter out the data payloads as they see fit. Yeah.
Nice. All right. And now what kinds of data, is that the only type of data that you would send back to the server about the user?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And now what are the top 5 threats that users should look out for when they are surfing the web?
I would say the biggest ones right now are credential theft, ransomware, drive-by downloads, email impersonation via phishing, and also malicious injection of JavaScript into web pages.
Is there more, do you see more of like one of these than others?
Well, the most common one I would say is the email impersonation via phishing. Those are just a classic attack that work so well across the internet. And then the second one that I see the most is some sort of like session hijacking attack where the authentication stack is not correctly maintained, and then an exploit comes up later, and basically a website gets owned, and then a hacker uses that to reach the audience of the website user base.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. And then lastly, can you give us an idea of the future development roadmap for Apozy?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to get mobile coverage, have companies be able to use our system to basically adapt their infrastructure to make real-time security decisions.
Okay.
Things like that protect their users from logging in, and things that protect their employees from logging in as well.
Okay.
That's about it, yeah.
Nice, cool. I'm excited to see more from the company in the future.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you for joining me.
Yeah.
And be sure to tune in next time for another episode of Access Point. Also, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook so you don't miss out on any of the latest cybersecurity news. This episode is brought to you by Pentester Academy, the leader in online cybersecurity education. Join over 10,000 professionals from 90 countries to learn security online. Also brought to you by Hacker Arsenal, artillery for cyber warriors. Visit us on hackerarsenal.com to check out our latest attack defense gadgets. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.